Hello, good evening and welcome to Wembley Stadium for England, their first international of the season, as they take on Bulgaria at Wembley. We're just into the final preparations, 15 minutes or so before kick-off here. Kick-off 5 o'clock here, live here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. I hope you can all hear me fantastically well. Looking forward to this game tonight. It should be an absolute crackerjack, and it's going to be an absolute crackerjack. England looking to make sure that they qualify for the European Championships. I think it's going to be an absolute terrific game. 2 international games, as I say, coming right up your way. Tuesday we've got 2 international games. Apologies for that. We've got 2 international games, as I said. Tonight against Bulgaria, of course. And then on Tuesday we've got another one against Kosovo. The first ever international meeting between England and Kosovo. Anyway, whilst we're waiting for the teams, let me give you the 2 lineups. And significant, the England lineup. So it's Pickford in goal. I think he's going to go 4-3-3 here. So it's Jordan Pickford, the Everton goalkeeper, in goal. And then it's a back 4 tonight of 2 ex-Burnley, 2 former Burnley players. Kieran Trippier at right back, who's had a terrific start to the season with Real Madrid, with Atletico Madrid, I should say. Michael Keane of Everton, Harry Maguire, the £80 million man for Manchester United, and Danny Rose of Tottenham. And then it's 3 in the midfield. An interesting 3 in midfield. You've got Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool captain, alongside West Ham's Declan Rice, who's going to make his debut, although he has played 3 times in friendlies for the Republic of Ireland before, but he's been deemed good enough to play for England. He wants to play for England, and that's his prerogative. There's been a lot of controversy about that. And then Ross Barkley completing the midfield trio, if you like, for England tonight. And then it's a front 3 that everyone's familiar with: Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane, the captain, and Marcus Rashford. And it's quite a long substitutes bench. Because the squad's of 23, anybody up to 12, thinking like 12 substitutes, although only 3 can play at any one time during the 90 minutes tonight. So this is the England's substitutes. We've got Alexander Arnold, Tom Eaton, one of the goalkeepers, Ben Chilwell, Joe Gomez of Liverpool, Tyrell Mings of Aston Villa, Harry Winks of Tottenham, Mason Mount of Chelsea, who sprang into life on loan at Derby County last season, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain of Liverpool, James Maddison of Leicester, Jadon Sancho of Borussia Dortmund, Nick Pope, of course, of Burnley, and Callum Wilson of Bournemouth. Bulgaria, not the side they once were. It's hard to believe that there were semi-finalists at the World Cup 26 years ago in the United States, so when they finished up losing in the semi-finals. You may remember Roberto Baggio inspired Italy. This is their lineup. Iliev starts in goal for them. Then it's Popov, Borodyrov, Bozikov, and Nelyakov, Sarnov, Ivanov, Popov, Malinov, Farias, and Acosta. Some tongue twisters right in there as well. Why do England have to have tongue twisting names? Anyway, or Bulgaria have to have tongue twisting names. Anyway, here's the trench for the Bulgarians: Ivanov, Dimitriov, Pashov, Slavak, Despodov, Krav, Lukov, Milinov, Madanov, Goranov, Trezinov, and Dimitrov. The referee tonight comes from Italy, from Pompeii, Marco Guaida. He's 38 years old, and we'll be checking in with the national anthems very, very shortly. There's about 10 minutes to go to kick off. Them are the 2 teams. I will go through once again in a little while, but a tremendous atmosphere building inside Wembley Stadium at the moment for the first major international of the new season. Obviously friendly games now. I think in the past with this more or less with the Nations League, that was quite complicated, but it turned out to be very popular from England's point of view, finishing 3rd in the summer. But it's a different kettle of fish, the European Championships, and bearing in mind that the semi-finals and final will be played at this very stadium next summer, this is a real time to England to get qualified. If they can win these 2 games here tonight, it really takes the pressure going off there. They've got the Czech Republic. They were the only real side that we needed to worry about, the Czechs. But at the moment I think England should be okay. If they can take 6 points from these next 2 games here at Wembley, both games in fact at Wembley, then I think they've got a great chance. Mason Mount could actually win his first cap here tonight if he comes on as a substitute, and Declan Rice, as I said, will make his debut for England tonight. Big night for him, former Republic of Ireland international as well, played 3 friendly matches for the Republic and caused a lot of controversy. Now anybody who's listening in tonight can listen, and you can also comment as well in the comment section, in the live comment section, but please keep your comments very, very much clean, because it's a family show, it's a family programme, and we've got a reputation to build, so please keep your comments clean. There's only one of 6 moderators can be on at any one time during our live matches this season, so please keep your comments clean, keep them about the game. How do you think England are going to fare? That sort of thing. There's the man in the match. There's the England Man in the Match award as well to come later as well. So plenty to look out for. But please, obviously, keep your comments clean, keep your comments respectful. We are a family show, everybody. So we're just waiting to start the game. Just waiting for the 2 teams to emerge from the tunnel here at Wembley Stadium. It should be a decent crowd inside Wembley. Saturday night, tea time. There'll be a peak television audience around the world, and we are coming to you around the world, of course, for this game. So if you're hearing us anywhere, good evening wherever you may be. Just waiting on the arrivals of the teams. We'll bring you the anthems as well. There's no 2 ways about that. We'll bring you the true flavour of international football here on the JB Kite YouTube channel. Something that we wanted to put right this year. We didn't cover any of it last year after the World Cup, so this year we're determined to put that right and follow the England team, hopefully along the road, hopefully to Euro 2020 glory next July, where the semi-finals and finals will take place here at Wembley Stadium. The actual championships themselves next season, the finals, they're taking place all over Europe. It's a first time experiment that UEFA are putting together to see how it will go instead of holding it in one normal country. I don't know, it might be a logistical nightmare, if I'm being honest, to have it all around Europe, but there's going to be plenty of countries hosting the tournament. Scotland, Hampden Park's going to be holding a few games as well. I think the Millennium Stadium, of course, in Cardiff, they're going to be hosting 1 or 2 of the games as well, and a lot of the stadiums around Europe as well. But I think it's going to be a logistical nightmare for the organisers and for the tournament itself. But I always think, I've always been in the opinion, have it in one big country and then just hold it there. I think England would have been a perfect place to hold it, but that's me just being a little bit biased. So we're still waiting on the teams to emerge from this tunnel here. Full match commentary, of course. You'll hear the whole 90 minutes audio commentary coming to you live here for this game. So we're just awaiting the 2 teams to come out into the tunnel here at should be a packed Wembley Stadium. And just to point you in the direction of a documentary that's been aired on ITV4, you may remember Gordon Banks, who died last year, is being celebrated in an ITV4 documentary about his life and career. Of course, 66 World Cup winner, won the League Cup in 72 with Stoke City. That was his only other major honour. Went to 3 or 4 FA Cup finals with Leicester, but lost each time. Had a spell in America. A really great player. Banks of England, Tuesday night at 10 o'clock after the Kosovo game over on ITV4, if you want to give that a watch. All you England fans out there. Former Leicester and Stoke goalkeeper, as well as England 66 World Cup winner Gordon Banks, who died last year. Well, Harry Kane in the tunnel, waiting to get into action here at Wembley. Michael Keane behind him, Jordan Pickford behind Harry Kane. Pressure on the 2 centre backs today. Harry Maguire, of course, The £80 million man went from Leicester City to Manchester United. Bulgaria on the left of picture as I see it. The referee, as I say, comes from Italy. And there's going to be a decent atmosphere here as the teams are led out by the referees and the officials here this evening, led by Marco Gaida from Italy. And there's a nice atmosphere as the teams come out of the tunnel. Good atmosphere. There must be at least 75,000 inside Wembley. It is quite packed. England flags flying around the place. And England expects once again. There's a good healthy crowd, at least 75,000 I would have thought. We'll get the official attendance during the match a little bit later on, but I think this is going to be a real humdinger of a match, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to you live here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Our first England game since the semi-finals of the World Cup, and now we're going to stand for the national anthem, starting with the Bulgarian national anthem. In just a second, but the England flag's certainly flying as we wait to have the national anthems. I think there'll be a presentation party as well. Well, they know they won't. So now we will have those two national anthems, the Bulgarian national anthem first, and then the English national anthem. Great atmosphere, sung with great gusto, the two anthems. Should be an absolute crackeroonie here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. England against Bulgaria as the teams now break away and will now do their warm-up. So I'll give you a final reminder in just a second of the two teams. In just a second. As we just we get ready to start the game. So it's Pickford in goal, Trippier, Keane, Maguire and Rose along the back. It's Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Ross Barkley and Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford up front. But I'll give you the full lineups in just a second or two. Well, Wembley's just an absolute it's an absolute picture for the first England match of the season. I can't wait for the game to start, and of course you can comment as well in the comment section below as well. Terrific atmosphere this game here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Audio commentary, and England starting with Declan Rice. Making his debut tonight, so we'll give you the full formations if you like. So we'll give you the full formations they usually do at this stage. So I'm just going to look at that England formation very quickly. So are we going to look at the formations? Are we going to get the formations? I don't think we are, so I'm going to have to go off what we're seeing here. So it's Pickford, Trippier, Keane, Maguire, Rose, Henderson, Declan Rice making his first appearance. Number 10, Popov, is the Bulgarian captain, incidentally. Just Rice, Barkley, Sterling, Kane and Rashford, Iliev, Popov, Bodorov, Bozkinov, Medvedev, as England in white prepare to get us underway. Sarnov, Ivanov, Popov, Malinov, Farias and Acosta completing the lineup. Substitutes, I'll go through them as we go along. The referee tonight, 38 years old, Marco Cordia, gets us underway. Pompey of Italy, he's from. And off we go. England attacking the goal to our left, incidentally, in the first half in white. Bulgaria in the all red shirts with white shorts. England in the darker shorts as we kick off in this first half. And the ball back by Harry Maguire to Everton's Jordan Pickford. Pickford gets the ball out, and it's finds Michael Keane, his good colleague. England, I believe, are going to play 4-3-3, and it's Rashford who's gone to the left hand side already in this opening stages. Don't forget, you can comment during the match in the comment section there. Keep your comments clean, keep them respectful, please. We are a family programme. Anyway, here come England now as Trippier gets the ball back. So just to remind you, England, I think, are going to play 4-3-3. So they are playing with a back four. Trippier at right back and Rose at the left back as Maguire takes possession and bundles forward. So Henderson's going to play on the left, I believe, of the three-man midfield, with Rice central and Barkley on the right, Sterling on the left, Kane in the centre. In fact, it's Rashford on the left and Sterling on the right. So it's Iliev. So they are playing 4-3-3 England. Also, Bulgaria playing with a back four there, as I can tell you. Two holding midfielders in Malinov and Smarnov, and then Ivanov, Popov, the captain, and Wanderson and Marcelino up front, or he's called Da Costa anyway, as the corner comes in, and it's going to be a corner then to England on the far side. We've had a minute and a half here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland, the management committee, looking to get their third full season, their fourth season as England, as the England team. Into their third full season. They took over during in late 2017, and England come charging forward down the right hand side after the corner was initially blocked. It was a poor corner originally, then Rashford made the run down the right and it was well blocked. England got a throw in, ball back on halfway, and now it's Declan Rice, the West Ham man. Played 3 games for the Republic of Ireland in friendlies, but was allowed to exploit a loophole which allowed him to play for England. He had the choice of England and Republic, and of course, having played 2 or 3 friendly games, it caused a bit of uproar over in the Republic of Ireland, and quite rightly so. But it was his decision, and he decided, Declan Rice, to play his international football for England. He's certainly good enough to do so. He's been putting in some eye-catching performances this season for West Ham. Here's Harry Maguire just inside his own half, trots over halfway, finds Ross Barkley, who gets the ball towards the far side, and he looks for Trippier over on the far side, the man who scored that remarkable 3 kick in the last England game that we covered some 13, 14 months ago now, since we covered an England match, and that was the semi-finals of the World Cup. Well, we did do the third place match. It was the last one I covered, England match I covered, and it was a tremendous spirit at the time. Unfortunately, we just came up short after extra time in the World Cup against the Croats, and who knows, we might have got on and beaten France. But France in the final, as it turned out, they were a terrific team. as Barkley takes possession midway inside the Bulgaria half. It's all England at the moment. Here's Rashford, gets the ball back. Maguire will try to Declan Rice, yeah, it is Maguire, and Maguire plays it out, and the ball played in there towards Harry Kane, who scored in the North London derby last weekend. And here's Danny Rose. Rose turns, gets to get Rashford in. He's kept the ball in play. Referee from Italy was happy enough with that, with the fact that Rashford had kept the ball in play just down by the near side touchline. But Bulgaria now win a bit of possession here with Bodorov, and he gets it back to Ilyanev, who's the goalkeeper. And a little bit of mistake there by the number 5 there, Budorov, and he almost led there to a opportunity, but Bulgaria get away with it. Not the force they were 26 years ago when they reached the World Cup semi-finals in the United States. They famously knocked out that great German side of Voller and Klinsmann and all that, and here they go again with Da Costa into the penalty area. Shot comes in, and what a chance inside the area for Farias. Hit it on his left foot, and the first real opening was made there by Bulgaria. Would you believe it? There was a little deflection of Keane that could have took it anywhere. There's their manager, Kazimir Balakov. A good positive start by the away team here at Wembley this evening. 5 minutes gone, England 0, Bulgaria 0, but it's Da Costa who's had the best, or Farinas has had the best opportunity set up by Da Costa on the left hand side. England 0, Bulgaria 0 in the European Championship qualifiers at Wembley. And it's going to be a difficult struggle as Popov now just plays the ball back. As Bodorov now knocks the ball forward. Kane tussling for it in the midfield, but it's Belgium who come away with it again, and they're on the break again, and the number 2 here, Popov, he's 3 on the near side here. Popov now looks to get the ball in. There is 2 Popovs incidentally. There's the captain who plays number 10 in behind the strikers. We just see that shot there. Wanderson to give him his full name, Wanderson Farias, but we have him down on the notes as Farias. Gets a little deflection there, which could have took it past Jordan Pickford. But Bulgaria have made a great start, and they have a corner on the near side. She's going to be taken by Farias. Although he's got Wanderson on the back, we've got him down as Farias, but it is the same name as the ball comes into the penalty area, headed away by Harry Maguire inside the 6-yard area. Okay. I think that's how it is. Come on, lads, he says, and you can channel your support for the England team if you like in your comment section, as we hope to bring you an England victory. So far, it's been a bad start. Błazikov now gets the ball back, and we'll get it back to his goalkeeper, Ilyev, who's not even had a shot in anger to save. But we've been playing 7 minutes. Oh, Kane was closing in on him then as he kicked away. Now Popov, one of the 2 Popovs in the side, trying to work something with Farinas on the far side. Now the other Popov, the captain Popov, number 10, gets the ball out towards Błazikov. I don't really know too much about the Bulgarian side. Of course, they had that great side of between 1994 and 96, the likes of Stoichkov and Lechkov and all them sort of players, and a really decent team. As I said, there were no mugs that year. They knocked out Germany in that unforgettable quarter-final. Lechkov got the winner that day, and that was no ordinary German side. As I said, they had Voller, Klinsmann, Müller, Thomas Hassler, Stefan Effenberg as well. Bodo Illner was the goalkeeper then. They were world champions at that stage, Germany, having won the tournament in 1990. But that's the greatest ever moment in Bulgarian football, internationally anyway. And they've still got a lot to live up to. They did compete in Euro 96 but crashed out at the group stages, as most of the fancy teams did, Italy being one of them. And the ball played out towards Rose now on the left hand side for England as they tried to create a chance inside the Bulgarian penalty area, but Bodorov did really well to hook that out for a throw-in for England, in line with the 6-yard area of Bulgaria. This time next week we hope to bring you full match commentary of Norwich City against Chelsea from the Premier League. That will be a 5:30 kickoff as opposed to 5 o'clock here this evening, and of course we'll have England coming up hopefully against Kosovo on Tuesday night with a 7:45 kickoff. So plenty of still some great football action to come. We're into our 12th live match, 12th full commentary match of the season, and we haven't had a goalless draw yet in any of our live matches so far anyway, but you never know. Knowing my luck, it might happen tonight, but you never know in these sort of conditions. Cracking atmosphere, as I said, for this World Cup qualifier, coming to you live of course from Wembley. This is Danny Rose, no foul there on Farias by Rose. He shrugged him off the ball very easily. Henderson now gets it out to the far side. Trippier back to Henderson. Henderson takes a touch, turns, plays it to Ross Barkley. Barkley of Chelsea finds Maguire of Manchester United, and now Raheem Sterling of Manchester City, United's rivals. And Sterling whips away from a defender, gets his cross in, and it's turned away by the defender there, Bodorov for a corner, but he turned the number 2 there, pop off inside and out down that left hand channel, cut to the byline. Raheem Sterling, this is what we like to see him do, and this is the sort of play that we want to see him do a lot more for England as well as he does for Manchester City. He's actually had a good start to the season with Manchester City. He's fired in a few crucial goals at the start. Barkley to take the corner on the left hand side, right footed into the 6-yard area, and Belgium, well, the Bulgarians didn't defend that too well, and they've won a free kick about 10 yards outside their own penalty area, which will be a relief to them. I think Trippier was the culprit. The Italian ref just deciding that Trippier's challenge, as Bulgaria seemed to sort of counter-attack, was bordering on illegal, and the referee gave them the free kick, which they've taken, but they've taken it short. And Smarov now gets the ball out to the left hand side here for Bulgaria, but they've conceded a throw in there, and number 14 Yankov has conceded that throw, and England have taken it very quickly, with Declan Rice now just to the left of right of the centre circle inside the Bulgarian half. Rice gets it again, the West Ham man finds Trippier of Atletico Madrid, formerly of Burnley and of Tottenham. I think Tottenham may have made a big mistake letting him go last season, Trippier, considering the start he's made to his Atletico Madrid career this season, which has won him a place back in the England squad. The man who scored the 3 kick in that semi-final defeat to Croatia for so long in that night. It looked as if we were going to have an England-France final, but it wasn't to be. Now Maguire inside the centre circle, 10 yards inside the Bulgarian half, back inside to Henderson. Henderson out to Trippier on the right hand side, into Rashford as well, and Sterling too, but the ball is going to fall. One ball's going to fall for Iliev in the Bulgarian goal, all in yellow. Yellow shirt, yellow shorts, yellow stockings as well. And he throws right-handed up towards the far side, flicked on there, and the ball tried to be played in there towards Da Costa, but he's lost possession that time, Da Costa in the end. And now the Bulgarians in red just getting the ball back, and it's with once again Iliev, who gets the ball forward. 13 almost minutes gone here at the National Stadium here at Wembley. England 0, Bulgaria 0, amazingly. But Bulgaria have had the best chance. It came through Farias after some good work on the far side by Da Costa. And here's Danny Rose now in possession on the left for England. Finds Barkley on again the same left hand touchline, and Rose back inside again. Rashford this time picks the ball up, chips it in towards Trippier, who's making a good position on the far side byline, but couldn't be found. Sterling has won the ball back fairly, and he's got away from one man down the right hand side. Looks to find Trippier now, still on the right hand side. Sterling tries to make the overlapping run as Trippier try to play him in, but it's a good blanket defence there by the Bulgarians, and England get for that enterprising bit of play is a throw in level with the 18-yard box on the right hand side. And Trippier took the throw, gets it back from Henderson. Now he has to go back to Keane. Now Maguire now 10 yards inside the Bulgarian half. 14 minutes gone here at Wembley in the European Championship qualifier. England 0, Bulgaria 0. And then an England win would certainly put them on the verge. You think they will have 3 easy points in the bag when they take the field against a very big minnow in Kosovo, but we never know. You never know. But Rose brings that ball across. And a shot on the volley on the edge of the area. It was Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool man, who hit it with his right foot, and he hit that, I think, first time on the volley. I don't think the ball's touched the ground from the cross here by Rose. Hit terrifically well, and yeah, he hits that first time on the volley, but he has the power with the shot, but obviously it was lacking direction. In fact, looking at the reverse television angle as the goalkeeper almost gets himself in a bit of a tangle as Kane went in there to close him down inside the penalty area. In fact, he'd almost hit that, just going back to the Henderson shot, it almost hit the corner flag in the goal. That's how bad the shot was in the end. And of course there's an England football team out, the only England side to be taking part this evening, and it's not good news in the Ashes, I'm afraid. England were all out for 301 during the day. It's 108 for 4 Australia, and they lead by 304, and that man again, Steve Smith, has made 50. So it's not looking good at the moment. So best really England could possibly realistically hope for is to hang on in there and just get a draw, and then just take it to a final match next week or so at the Oval, and then just try and win the Ashes from there on in. That's all England can hope for now. They can't win the Test match up at Old Trafford, that's for sure. But it looks as if Steve Smith has taken any chance of any lingering doubts of an England victory away from England in the cricket. But here in the football, England are being held themselves, football lads, by a very plucky Belgian side at the moment who are not taking no prisoners at this moment in time. 16 gone. It's England 0, Bulgaria 0. Scotland lost yesterday. Northern Ireland won a friendly match a couple of nights ago. There's a terrific game in Germany last night between Germany and the Netherlands, and Germany lost that game, and the Netherlands now, all of a sudden, after a couple of years in the wilderness, are really starting to come back to their own again, and that's good news for. That's really good news. That's really good news for the Dutch side at this moment in time. Dranini's on. But Henderson's missed the target just a little bit. Yeah, I think you're probably right there, Panini. Anyway, here's Harry Maguire now finding Michael Keane. Keane now having to just chase it up a bit, and he finds Raheem Sterling. Goes past one man, past another one on the right hand side, cuts inside, goes down. Referee was adamant that was not a penalty. It was a fair tackle in the referee's interpretation of it by a couple of Belgians who had gone in there to stop his run, or to thwart his run, if you see what I mean. Can't pronounce the word now. Thwart, that's the word I was looking for. Anyway, here's Sterling again. We'll just see if we can get a look on the replay. I'm not sure VAR is being used tonight. Incidentally, we haven't got a monitor. They usually have monitors at these international games, a bit like what they did in the World Cup, as the Bulgarians make a good break through the centre, and they get a free kick against Raheem Sterling. And was that a penalty? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm destroying the commentary set. Trying to put my cup down. Apologies for that. If you heard a little noise in the background, that was me putting my mug of coffee on the table, on the commentary desk we got here. Anyway, here's Henderson nicking a long ball forward, and it's Raheem Sterling. Sterling in towards Kane inside the 6-yard area, and I think the flag has gone up though. The goal will not count. Harry Kane must have been offside as that ball was played in from the right hand side, And I think the linesman was probably, the Italian linesman was right there. Nothing wrong with the run from Sterling. It's on the second phase, and Kane, yes, he's half a yard off as he puts the ball in the net. It's quite an accomplished finish there by the Tottenham goal getter, but I felt he was just offside there on the second phase there. And I think he knew it, actually. There was no real complaints there from any of the England players. They got on with it, accepted the decision, and got on with it. And I thought it did look from the first glance that he was offside. Anyway, the long ball forward. Now Flagger stayed down here. Chance here for Belgium, and it was the number 14. In fact, he was offside there. Neniakov. Apologies for the pronunciations. It's the first time I've covered Bulgaria as a sort of an audio commentator, so I apologise if some of the pronunciations are a little bit off kilter. I don't know too much about the Bulgarian side, today's Bulgarian side. I know about the '94 one when they heroically reached the semi-finals. I'm sure Panini will remember that match in America against Germany when they nicked it 2-1. And, there was we're all cheering for Bulgaria that afternoon here in this country. I can tell you now, I was an 11-year-old marvelling in Germany getting beat in a World Cup match. Just marvellous. Anyway, here's the number 2 now, Popov. Popov making a good break here, and he's found Farias, and Farias just turns and gets it back to his colleague Budarov. And now Eliev gets it out to the far side. You were 16 at the time, were you, Panini? It was a long time ago now. 26 years since then. 26 years since those heady days in Bulgarian football. And they haven't been able to, as I said, they limped out of Euro 96 at the group phase here in England, and we haven't really seen too much of them since. These sides of today have got that side of 94, between 94 and 96 to really live up to, and it's going to be a real toughie for them. England 0, Bulgaria 0. 21 minutes of the first half have elapsed at Wembley Stadium. Coming up towards the halfway mark of the first half, folks, and England have had a goal disallowed, quite rightly so, for an offside there. Harry Kane put the ball in the back of the Bulgarian net, but the goal did not stand because the flag had gone up for an offside decision. And England are trying to make one or two things happen. Barkley trying to get in there too. Rose keeps it in down the near side, but he can't let the ball. Well, he kept it in himself. He just yep, there we go. 2 wives to be, 3 relationships, and never married, and single is the best. That's Panini's love life, apparently. Some of the quirks in the messages we get in here, some of the funny messages, he is the best of them all. Anyway, back to the match, if we can get back to it. Here's Harry Maguire now for England. Finds his colleague, or in fact finds Jordan Henderson, gets the ball forward, looking towards Marcus Rashford, who started the season in supreme form for Manchester United. 2 goals in that victory against Chelsea. Henderson picks the ball up on the left hand side, plays a 1-2 with Rose. Henderson gets it again, 35 from goal, yards that is. Finds Raheem Sterling, now Trippier, just going towards the far side a little bit now, as England look to get, as their sponsors say, head and shoulders above Bulgaria here at the moment. Here's Maguire into Rashford. Rashford turns, looked to get it onto his right foot initially, and then he did so, and then got his right foot shut off, and in the end he didn't miss by too much. It was closer to goal than what Henderson's full-blooded volley was a few moments ago. But it went over the palm, and no danger to Iliev in that Bulgarian goal. Well, we played just shy of 23 minutes here, and England, they've closed it down. Chance here for Sterling. Sterling back towards Kane, and now England have scored, and that does count. A mistake in the Bulgarian defence by number 15 Bosniakov from the short goal kick, and England caught them napping. Sterling won the ball on the right, on the far side, the right hand side. It was just brainless football, really. The first rule when you're taught as a youngster, really, certainly in England, is to clear your lines. And, well, the Bulgarians did not hear that warning. Good play from Sterling, set it up. And then with the right foot, Harry Kane, from no more than 6 yards, goalkeeper out of his ground at that point, goes to the goalkeeper's right and into the left-hand corner. And England, after a little bit of a sluggish start to the season, or to the game, have finally got their qualifier up and running now. 3 goals in the last 3 qualifiers for Harry Kane, and here England are looking to attack now. That'll settle a few nerves inside Wembley now, because Bulgaria were causing 1 or 2 troubles. I was just about to say at that point, 24 goal 1-0 to England. I was just about to say before the Bulgarians committed football suicide that they'd done actually quite well up to that point, and I was just about to give them praise as they did that. You've got to say 10 out of 10 for Sterling for seizing on the mistake, and maybe the goalkeeper Eliev may well not want to do that very much again. That was a gift for England. You don't give players the likes of Sterling and Kane easy chances like that, because they will punish you, and they always do, week in, week out in the Premier League. And they've done it for England here, and Bulgaria have really absolutely gifted them. Absolute ridiculous goal for the Bulgarians to concede, but it's a great moment for England. And Sterling's in again, but the flag is up for offside. The ball went wide anyway, despite Bodorov's tackle there, which was a terrific tackle, it's got to be said, but yeah, just about offside as the ball was played there on the far side. I have to say the far side linesman's been very, very good so far in this first half here in this game. He's done really well there. England have just got to watch the line and just stay on side at every conceivable opportunity as pop off. The number 2 breaks down the right and yields a throw in deep inside England territory just after halfway. That was offside. It definitely was. And I honestly think the first one was as well, Panini. I know you disagree, but Harry Kane knew it, and so did everyone else in the stadium, to be fair. 0-0, 26 minutes gone. 1-0, I should say. England leading. And here's Rashford now. Picks it up on the right hand side, deep inside Bulgarian territory. And England now looking to, if we can get a second goal, it will relieve even more pressure, and it would free them up to try and score another couple maybe in the second half. Here's Harry Kane now turning, finds Ross Barkley. Barkley back to Rashford of Manchester United. Oxford Tottenham's Danny Rose binds him. Now Rashford again. I have to say Declan Rice in a lot of periods has had a good chunk of the ball, and he's done very well in what he's done so far in an England jersey. And here's Sterling again. He's causing so many problems down that right hand channel. He put another good crossing, but this time the Bulgarian defence had enough wit and wisdom about them this time to get the ball away, and they did clear their lines eventually. But you have to say full marks to Sterling initially on the goal, as we see there. It was a good diving header away by Bodorov. As Bodorov gets the ball back to his goalkeeper once again, and he's taking a long time, and England are closing down quite a lot there, I've noticed, and that is a very good sign. Absolutely for certain. England certainly winning most of the battles here at the moment. Certainly now as the game goes by. They're winning the big battle though, 1-0. But they're starting to get a hold after a sluggish start, England, with the midfield area. And Bulgaria, apart from that one chance for Farias in the 6th minute, haven't really contributed too much else to the game so far. But at the moment, England 1 up, and here goes Sterling, who's been at the hub of all good things, but he gave the ball away, but Bulgaria just hook it away. They had 10 men inside their own half, and it's easy for Keenan Maguire just to mop up the clearances and get England moving again. And Rice plays it out towards Danny Rose here on the near side. Infield again. Plays a 1-2 with Chelsea's Ross Barkley. Now Harry Kane has just dropped deeper now, trying to get Trippier in behind, possibly on the right hand side. Cross got a deflection, or the crossfield ball got a deflection, and Bulgaria lose possession, but Kane did win the ball, in fact illegally, according to the Italian referee Guida, and a free kick to Bulgaria midway inside their own area. Yeah, it just takes the back of Marinov's legs, and I think that's a fair decision. The Italian officials so far up till now, for the 29 minutes that we've been playing here, have been quite very good. Good Italian officiating here, and looking good. Italy had a good win the other night as well, 3-1, and it would be nice to see them back in a major tournament. It really was. That was the only downside to last year's World Cup, really, that they weren't blessed with the Italian presence, really, because they always bring colour and flavour to the occasion, and they're always a very good side. They were unlucky to lose out in the quarter-finals of the Euros 3.5 years ago. As Bulgaria gets the ball back, and it's Danny Rose winning possession, but Bulgaria get it away. But at the moment it's England on top, but they've lost the free kick here. Michael Keane there going in very hard. In fact, he picked up the first booking of the game. Marceline, number 7 there, Da Costa, is the man who's fouled Marcelino to give him his back of the shirt name, so to speak, but Keane was in hard. Maybe a little bit fabricated there from Da Costa, a little bit there. Maybe did the foul a little bit there. Overreacted. It was a free kick, there's no doubt about that. Not sure if it was a bookable offence. I think the dive there just proved, just finished it off as it all, really. It's England lead by 1-0 at the moment. Half an hour, 30.5 minutes of the first half elapsed as the ball comes forward, and it's Bulgaria now leading the line, and it's Popov, the number 10, the captain. He finds the other Popov, who's the right back, and he gets a good ball in the header, one inside the area by Da Costa. He was unmarked, and that was another presentable opportunity there for Bulgaria. Danger signs there for England. They haven't been tested since probably the 6th or 7th minute defensively there, and they were found wanting there. And if it wasn't for Jordan Pickford being a little bit better, for being good, well placed, that could have been the equaliser, and that should have been 1-1. And the manager knows it for Bulgaria. That should be one each. Real opportunity there for the Bulgarians to get level and get back in this game. England haven't had it all their own way. Remember they've gone one up, but they've given Bulgaria 2 great opportunities. And Da Costa's been at the hub of both of them. The other chance fell to Farinas as the ball was up forward towards the Bulgarian penalty area, or just inside the Bulgarian penalty area, I should say. And it was well gathered there by Iliev, I should say. 31 gone, still 32 minutes almost gone, and it's England 1, Bulgaria 0. In case you joined us late, Harry Kane scoring after a mix-up in the Bulgarian defence when trying to clear away from a goal kick. Sterling robbed them off the ball down the right, put a lovely cross back from the byline, and Kane on hand on the edge of the 6-yard area to tuck it into the left-hand corner to give England a 1-goal advantage as the ball goes out for an England goal kick. A little clash there between Nenyakov and Trippier. Nothing came of it anyway untoward as Danny Rose makes a break down the left. England 1, Bulgaria 0. Inside the last quarter hour of the first half, plus any stoppage time. We'll take a 10-minute break. Just to remind you, we'll keep you updated as well. The Ashes, England playing in the Ashes at the moment. Let's just look at the latest score. 128 for 4. Let's just check the scorecard. Warner was out LBW'd abroad, and then Harris was out LBW'd abroad for 6. Labanashan was out for 11. Smith is not out 71. Travis Ed was bowled by Jofra Archer for 12. Wade not out 23 as well. with England in a little bit of bother in the Ashes. Best they could probably do is get a draw, take them back for the Oval. But that's the latest in the cricket here. Meanwhile, in the football here at Wembley, the European Championship qualifiers, it's England 1, Bulgaria 0. We're coming up towards 34 minutes played of the first half. Live here on the JB Quiet YouTube channel. We'll take a 10-minute break as we usually do for these live games when it's just me presenting and commentating, because I've been at it since 4:30 this evening. We've been at it now for a good hour as Declan Rice gets the ball back, and now Harry Maguire, the most expensive defender in the world, comes forward over the halfway line. Went to £80 million to Manchester United from Leicester, and that's a good ball down towards Rose. Cross back, Sterling is onto it, and he can't control the ball inside the penalty area. Lovely little cross from the left-hand channel there by Danny Rose. Sterling coming onto it inside the area, just took his first touch, was a little bit appalling there, and it just took it away there, and it's back with Jordan Pickford now. And it remains 1-0 to England, coming up towards the final 10 minutes of the first half here at Wembley. And here's Harry Maguire for England, finds Danny Rose for England. Gets his head up and looks to go forward. Ball played back. Here's Maguire now. He's started most of the England attacks in this first half, and Barkley trying to stab the ball in. Kane might have been offside there as that ball was played, but the referee allowing it to go on, and it's good for the game here as Popov, the captain now, the number 10, gets it out to the far side. Now then, a real opportunity here now for Bulgaria to try and create something here. Popov chips the ball in towards Da Costa inside the penalty area. Lovely close control. Now a chance there for Farinas, but he can't control the ball, and now here come England now. Oh, that's a clear shirt tuck there on halfway there by the number 5, Bodorov. He's going to be booked. And he joins Michael Keane now in the Italian referee's notebook. It was Rashford who's certainly a professional foul here, as Rashford was getting away from him, and he literally tugs his shirt back as he sprinted towards halfway there, Bodorov. And it was a definite yellow card in my opinion anyway. 9 minutes to go to half time. England 1, Bulgaria 0. And that is the score at the moment as the 36 minutes that we've been playing has flashed by very much, and we keep up our good record of not having a goalless live commentary match this season so far. We've picked on really well whichever live games we've done, even though if we've missed a couple of goals here and there with technical errors, we've always been there to bring goals in every game that we've brought you. And here is Harry Maguire on halfway. Trots 10 yards through the centre. There are some highlights on ITV if you want to watch them a little bit later on, if you want to look at most of the other matches as well. And then England Kosovo, we've got that at 7:30 here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Kick-off 7:45, and of course that Gordon Banks documentary the same night at 10 o'clock on ITV4 if you want to watch that, if you're a Gordon Banks fan. Here's a chance for England as the cross came in from Danny Rose on the left hand channel as he broke into the penalty area. And England now searching for the second goal inside the last 8 minutes. A little chip forward. Sterling is onside here, keeps the ball in play to his eternal credit over on the far side as that ball was looking for one moment to go out for a goal kick. Now the ball's been played back and into the penalty area it goes. I'll tell you, there's been some breaking news from Russ Byrne, our colleague and reporter, and he's coming not too far away from Wembley, in fact at Watford. And Watford, after 4 games, have sacked Javi Gracia, the man that got Watford to Wembley last season, has been sacked. 1 point from first 4, and we'll check that news properly at half time. But according to Russ Vernon, our reporter, and he doesn't let, and I tell you what, he leaves no stone unturned. He's our mole in this channel, but he's breaking the news to us that Watford have dispensed of the services of Javi Gracia. That's just come through this very second. So Watford have sacked their manager, and the Possos have done away with another manager, and he signed a 3-year contract as well not so long ago. So that's a real blow to Watford's start to the season. It just boggles the mind why foreign owners come into football, really. They try one manager after another, and I don't think Javi Gracia was the problem. I just think that they were just unlucky in some respects, Watford, and they haven't had the best of starts. But you know, to suspend a manager after 3 games with only 1 point, I think sounds a bit far-fetched, and I think it's a bit of a panic trigger that they've just pressed up at Watford. But there you go, the Pozzos, they're the man in charge, and they sack more managers than they do the battalion. They now have up-dinners, and they've just sacked another one tonight. Unfortunately, poor Javi Gracia, who did a magnificent job in getting Watford in mid-table last season, finishing 10th or 11th and getting them to an FA Cup final, has left Vicarage Road after by the Pozzos standards is a poor start to the season. 1 point on their first 4 games. Just seems a bit unfortunate, that, considering that we've only had 4 games into the season and there's still a long way to go in the league season. Just absolutely boggles the mind. Anyway, back to the game here. Nothing was happening untoward while we were talking to Javi Gracia, but there is a foul now on Ross Barkley, so that's a 3 kick to England, midway inside the Bulgarian half, as the sun shines through this vast arena here at Wembley. Some beautiful sunny afternoon down here in North London this afternoon. Been very enjoyable to commentate on and describe for you here at Wembley, as Henderson and Barkley look to get this 3 kick in. As the chip comes in towards the penalty area, there was some pushing and shoving going on. In fact, whistle's gone, in fact, for a 3 kick to Bulgaria. So there we go. So a 3 kick. So it's a cracking atmosphere, that's for sure, as Piliev takes the kick, and it's coming back at England again, coming back at Bulgaria again, but the flag's up for offside against Raheem Sterling, who tried casually to put the ball in the back of the net, but I think the Italian officials again got the offsides completely right. In fact, I think all the offsides that Italian assistant has got so far in the first half has got more or less spot on, or have they? Was it Kane who was offside? It looked as if it was Harry Kane. It looked a tight one to me. I would say that was 50-50. Probably the most contentious offside we've seen this afternoon, or this evening rather. Last 4 minutes of the first half, inside the last sort of 3 and a bit minutes of the first half, 3 minutes 20 plus any stoppages. I don't think there'll be too many stoppage time, too much at the end of the first half. Usually in England games they usually blow up after 45 minutes straight, so or it's usually the 1 minute, as it normally is the case in these qualifiers and friendlies and God knows what else, as Maguire clears away from his own byline there, and we've just got a blue bottle that's just disturbing us a little bit in the commentary box. We'll try and get rid of that before the second half kicks off. Here's Raheem Sterling now for England, back inside now to Declan Rice. He's had a good first half for England, done really well there. Played 3 friendlies, remember, for the Republic, as the ball comes into the penalty area from Danny Rose. Now can England finish with a flourish? It's Barkley now to the right of the penalty area, tries to get the cross in. A good tackle there, and it will be, I think, an English corner, is it? Nedeljkov did the donkey work there with the tackle, and is that a corner? It is. So it's going to be Ross Barkley to take it from the far side. Inside the last 3 minutes of the first half, remember, as the ball is up forward, and there's header comes in, and it was Maguire who got the header in, and a terrific header, and Kane was in there too. It might have been Kane who got the header in from 6 yards, but it was well saved by Piliev, who did a marvellous job there to keep that effort out, and it remains 1-0. Absolutely anonymous, he's on, the Manchester United lad. Good afternoon, JB. Hope you well? I'm enjoying this game so far. Well, it's been enjoyable, but also it's been a little bit nerve-wracking because Bulgaria have had two great opportunities. Let's not forget that. England one up and could have had a couple more, but then in a lot of respects, and you've got to be fair to the opposition, and Bulgaria have had two great chances. De Costa's had one, Farinas has had another, but here's Sterling on the ball now for England as he darts in the centre now from the original time when he got the ball on the left hand side. Now Rashford, they swap flanks. Looks like Sterling. There was appeals for handball, not given by the referee, and I'm not certain VAR's being used for this. I don't think it is. We're inside the last minute in the first half. No handball then. England claim a handball, but it might not matter. Here's Rashford again down the right hand side. Back in there towards Barkley. You can't control it. Good defence by the Bulgarians. But a moment of madness is costing them big time. But here's Kane inside the area. Kane shoots. It was put by a defender. Now England asking questions. And here is Rashford. Back inside to Henderson, who gives the ball away rather carelessly there, the Liverpool captain. 30 seconds of normal time to play, and then we'll get a review of how much we're going to preview of how much longer we might add on from the fourth official. England have yielded a corner, incidentally, after number 8 Sarnoff. I've just seen that again. Rashford with a nice little cross now. Was this hands? Well, he leant into it, and I think there might have been a case there for a penalty. Harry Kane was convinced. So was 70,000 other Englishmen. We're into stoppage time now. We've played the 45 minutes. And it's an England corner to be taken by Barkley. In it goes towards Maguire inside the penalty area. And they all battle for it. And we played just 15 seconds of the stoppage time. And that's it. So there wasn't really anything from the fourth official at all. But England lead at half time, thanks to Harry Kane after a mistake by the Bulgarian defence in trying to clear a corner. The goal was timed at 24 minutes. But Bulgaria in the first half have not been without chances. Farinas and De Costa had great chances. England have had more chances. Kane had the ball in the net a second time, or before he scored illegally, but that was flagged off for offside. So the England players and the Bulgarian players walk off at half time here at Wembley. England one up, but it's still a slender lead in a lot of respects because Bulgaria have created 2 or 3 decent opportunities. So they're not out of the woods yet, England. That is for sure. Anyway, that's it for the first half. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and then after that break, we'll have the whole second half. We'll have a check-up with the Ashes before the second half begins, and we'll bring you all the post-match reaction as well from Gareth Southgate and everyone else once the whistle goes. But at half time here at Wembley, it's England 1, Bulgaria 0, and we'll see you in just over 10 minutes from now. Welcome back to Wembley, where it's 1-0 at the moment to England, and a terrific atmosphere building for the second half as England take the field. Just to recap on the two main other stories other than the England game tonight, as Harry Kane takes the field for the second half. Watford, it has been confirmed, have sacked manager Javi Gracia, and Steve Smith has fallen for 82 as Australia now 158 for 5 in their second innings, but lead England by 354, and they have 5 of their wickets remaining, so still looking good for Australia up at Old Trafford. As we prepare to get on with the second half, as Ivanov prepares to get us underway, then Bulgaria 1-0 down in the red shirts, white shorts and red stockings to get us away in the second half. And we'll stay on hopefully and try and get some post-match analysis as well from Gareth Southgate after the match. But it's 1-0 to England, no changes from either side as I see, and it's still the same 11. So we'll run through the sides in just a second or two if you've joined us late. 1-0, and Russ has just announced that it's Man City women 1, Manchester United women 0. That's the result, and that's annoyed absolutely none of us a little bit there. So just picking up on that. That was actually mentioned before half time as Bulgaria make a good little break there, but out comes Jordan Pickford by his penalty spot. England attacking the goal to our right now in the second half in white shirts, dark blue shorts and white stockings. Both goalkeepers, the Bulgarian goalkeeper all in yellow, England keeper Jordan Pickford all in green. Here's Raheem Sterling on the right hand side, started off on the right, then drifted in towards the left hand channel as that first half went on, and Rashford is now on the left, I notice. So just to run through that England side, it's Pickford in goal, back forward Trippier right back, Keane and Maguire the two central defenders, and Rose left back, Henderson, Rice, Barkley, the midfield three, and it's Sterling, Kane and Rashford. So it's the same England team that's finished the first half. Iliev in goal for Bulgaria, back four, in fact a back five now. They've gone back five, they've changed formation slightly. So that's how it's gone. Marcelino is up front. That's Da Costa to you and I, number 7. So it looks as if they've gone to a back five there, Bulgaria. And if there's any half-time substitutions that I haven't picked up, I'm sure Russ will pick us up on that. But I think it's the same 2-11s as it was in the first half. I think the only changes really made was tactically there by the Bulgarian as they make a break on the right-hand channel, left-hand channel there by number 14, Nadiakov. But no ball's knocked away, and it's a throw to Bulgaria midway inside the England half. Gareth Southgate pondering on, hand up over his mouth, resting his hand on his chin, knowing that this is still not out the England are still not out the woods yet. A Bulgarian equaliser could put problems here, and there's a problem here for England. Oh, that's a great save as Farinas cut in the left hand side, got to the edge of the 6-yard area on the left hand side, smashed a great shot, but it was well repelled by Pickford, who narrowed his angle superbly, and Bulgaria could and should be level in this match. And there was a new manager in at Watford apparently, according to Russ. We'll touch on that in a minute because Bulgaria were attacking. Now England are attacking here. Down the left hand side over the halfway line goes Marcus Rashford, and he takes on a defender and beats him for pace. Rashford now to the byline, he goes down, and what does the Italian ref give? It's a penalty. Bodanov is the offender, and he could well be in trouble. He's already been booked, remember, in the first half. As we see the replay, he twists and turns, and yes, Rashford he's taken out. I think that's a penalty. A penalty has been given, and England have now the chance to settle some nerves. A good save at one end by Jordan Pickford to deny Farias. Now Harry Kane has the chance to make it 2-0 at the other end. England, who could have been back at 1-1, could now go 2 up here if Kane keeps his wits about it. Right-footed, scored in the North London derby last week. Can he do so for England this week against the Bulgarian keeper Pirinev? He steps up, right-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way, goes into the right-hand corner, and England now have that breathing space, that insurance policy, that security of a 2-goal lead. It could have been 1-1 at the other end if Farias had took his chance, but Kane, cool as you like, 100% correct the penalty, I agree. And cool as you like, right foot into the right hand corner, the keeper going the opposite way to where the ball ended up being. But there was no doubt in my mind that that was a penalty. So Kane scores his 4th goal in the qualification games. And England now go 2-0 in front. And that just might settle England down a little bit now and take some of the tension and the nerves out of it. That save from Pickford really was big, because if that goes in, it's 1-1. It's a different ball game as Rashford cuts in from the left hand side, and his attempted shot takes a huge deflection. It's gone behind for a corner. Well, this was the opportunity there. Hits it left footed, and Jordan Pickford stood up big and battered the ball away with his fingertips, and then at the other end it was a penalty, which led to a second English goal. 5 gone in the second half. It's England 2 now, Bulgaria 0 in the Euro qualifiers, and it's Ross Barkley from the far side, right footed, sends this corner. It's a bit of an outswing, and Maguire wins it and heads it wide off the target to the left hand side of the, just past the left hand side of the goal. That's the left hand post. Goal kick it is for Bulgaria, who trail now by 2-0. 5 gone in the second half, nearly 6 minutes gone in the second half, and England looking very good. There has been some breaking news at Watford. More breaking news. Quique Sanchez Flores has been named the new boss at Watford. So Quique Sanchez Flores is the new Watford manager, according to Russ Verdon, who's been the mole. He was always our mole, our reporter in the know, and also a very accomplished commentator as well. Great to be part of the JB team for this season, and we're glad to have him on board for the season. Here's England again looking to go 3 up and try and win this game at a canter if they possibly can. They played really well, I have to say. I'll tell you what, it's been a tough examination for England tonight, regardless of the score, because I have to tell you that Bulgaria have given as good as they've got, and they've been really good on their given day. England have got another game that should be a shoo-in to 3 points, surely, against Kosovo. But we've seen stranger things happen in football. But surely England should win that game on Tuesday. But they're winning this one here. This was the more important one, in my opinion. But they've had a stern test of their credentials tonight, England, and there's still 1 or 2 question marks about the 2 centre backs. Can they play together? Well, they've given Bulgaria 3 very great opportunities to score tonight. And if it wasn't for the poor finishing, they might have been level. And here they come again in England with Barkley down the left, and he tries to hook across back inside the penalty area, but the Bulgarian defence gets it away. The first goal was a present. The second goal was a ridiculous piece of defending, which led to Rashford being taken out, and a penalty was awarded. And they've got them, and that's the only way they've been undone, really, by some bad choices in defence there, Bulgaria. So they've really have got themselves to blame, only themselves to blame for why they're 2 goals down in this game. And yes, Quique Sanchez Flores was a former manager at Watford, and he has gone back there. So obviously something has been going on behind the scenes at Vicarage Road all day, as the present side doesn't include present England side. It doesn't include any England players in it, to try and hammer this lead and try and extend it even further. But here comes Da Costa over the halfway line. Good football this now from the Belgians. Here's Popov, the number 2, plays it back almost to his namesake again, Popov. Popov is an S, So it's an S Popov and an I Popov. I Popov wears number 10. If I'm having difficulty with the Bulgarian team, God knows what I'm going to have with Kosovo on Tuesday night. That's going to be some that's going to be some fun and games on Tuesday night. 7:30 we start, 7:45 kick-off at Wembley Stadium. It's Popov, I Popov. Takes possession once again, and England letting the Bulgarians just have a little bit of the possession here of the ball, and just calmly and coolly and collectively playing the ball around, and at the moment it's on the left hand side. England still 2-0 up. If you joined us late, Kane with both goals, one after 24 minutes after a mistake in the Bulgarian defence when trying to clear a short goal kick. They were caught in possession by Sterling, and here's Rashford as we just break off for a second. Kane on a hat-trick. Kane shoots across the goal. It's going to be number 3. Raheem Sterling was in on hand inside the 6-yard area. I think he might claim that. And England now go 3-0 into the lead with just shy of 10 minutes gone in the second half. Again, a mistake in the Bulgarian defence. A loose pass. Kane won the ball. Then Rashford took possession, played it to the left-hand side. Kane was there. The cross back. Although Sterling may have been in an offside position, there's no VAR involved here, and the goal stands. But he looked offside, but the goal will be given, and England won't care about that. And they go 3-0 in front now. There's no VAR, obviously. It's 5 goals in 3 qualifying matches now for Raheem Sterling. And already Panini's voted, and you're 10 minutes early, Panini. You're 10 minutes early. We'll count that after 65 minutes. No point in you re-voting again. So Panini's already started man of the match and started predicting his man of the match after 55. We usually stop the votes after 65, but that will count once the 65 minute ticks in. Right, and he did actually hashtag it with JVMLTM, which you guys can also do. He's actually setting you a good example there. Name of player and then the hashtag JVMLTM, please, in the comment section if you want to choose your man of the match. We will start it officially around 65 minutes, but that will count, Bernini. So don't worry, your vote will count in about 9 minutes time. He might even score another one in that time, who knows. England 3, Bulgaria 0, 56.5 minutes gone. And England now, surely now, after a few alarms tonight, are now coasting away with the game. 3 crucial qualifying points which will put them on the road to the finals, which next year are going to be played all over Europe, and then the semi-finals and the final will be played right here at Wembley Stadium. As Rice gets the ball back to Harry Maguire. Maguire, who him and Keane really haven't been very convincing enough really at the back, despite the clean sheet. England have needed a goalkeeper on a couple of occasions, and it's been poor finishing, a combination of good goalkeeping and poor finishing from the Bulgarian attackers, especially Farinas and De Costa, that mainly have cost them offensively, but defensively the whole back 5 and the goalkeeper have cost Bulgaria dear here tonight. Here's Barkley now, midway inside the Bulgarian half, and he finds Jordan Henderson. Henderson trying to play a 1-2. England now 3-0 up, and on paper it might look a routine scoreline, but if you've joined us late, it's in anything but, because even at 1-0 and at 0-0, Bulgaria had 3, maybe 4 presentable chances and could have easily scored 2 or 3 themselves. So this 3-0 result, if you've joined us late, it might seem from what you've heard so far or seen on the scoreboard that it looks a cut and blow dry victory. It's been far from that. It's not been the best England performance I've seen for quite a long time. The defences look a little bit sluggish when tested, and Jordan Pickford at 1-0 made the crucial save, which probably has turned the game England's way now, because at the other end Rashford was fouled. Kane took the penalty. He got the second one to add to the one he got in the first half after 24 minutes. And then just a couple of minutes ago, Raheem Sterling bundled it in from 6 yards out, but he looks suspiciously offside, so Bulgaria may well just have a gripe, but again gave the ball away deep inside their own half, which is a cardinal sin, and people like Kane and Sterling can punish you there or thereabouts. But it's 3-0, and that's what's important. But it's not been a flourishing England performance by any means, as Rashford can't keep it in on the far side. It goes out by the byline on the far side, by the far corner quadrant, and it's a goal kick now to Bulgaria, who trail 3-0, but they could have easily had 3 themselves. So 3-0 probably flatters England a little bit, because I think they flattered to deceive a little bit tonight. They've not been their sparkling best, but at the moment they're getting the job done. This has been far from easy. I know Mike Harneyman, one of our commentators, is saying it has been a bit easy. Well, it hasn't, is the byword for that, because Bulgaria, if they'd taken any of those 3 chances, they could have easily had 2 or 3 themselves. So it's not been as cut and blow dry as people might well think, as we approach almost an hour gone in this European Championship qualifier for next year. They've got another game to come against Kosovo on Tuesday, England, and then they played a 1000th international, in fact, in November, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that to you live on the JB Clark YouTube channel, a piece of England history that we would love to bring you there, or 1000th international match, but we'll let you know nearer the time when we do bring it to you. We're following England every step of the way, friendlies, competitive games, all the way hopefully to the European Championships next season, next summer we'll be focusing our live coverage on the whole tournament, not just about England. We might have some home nations there too. Hopefully Northern Ireland are in a very strong position in their group to qualify as well. It'd be great to see the Northern Irish back there. I thought they did themselves proud in the last Euros, getting to the last 16 and only losing to an own goal from Gareth McCauley against the Welsh that put them out of contention, really. They certainly didn't let anyone down in France 3.5 years ago. But at the moment it's Bulgaria fighting now hard in the centre of the park, but again well won again by England, and Barkley gets England on their way, but he overhits a bad ball, something like 60 yards, but he hits it so poorly it's untrue. 61 gone then, it's England 3, Bulgaria 0, and at the moment England on course for 3 points, but it's not been comfortable. As 3-0 goals, this is one of the most uncomfortable 3-0 leads you'll ever see, or even hear even. And here come Bulgaria now trying to launch another attack here through Bodorov, and Bodorov gets it out to the far side. Now then, can they force something? They've deserved to score really in some respects, because they haven't given up here. They've always kept attacking. Here's Popov now, the number 2, and he gets to cross him, and he goes straight to Ross Barkley, who now in turn finds Jordan Henderson, who in turn finds the man in form at the moment for Manchester City and England, Raheem Sterling, back inside to Henderson, the Liverpool captain. 2006, no, it's not actually. I think you'll find that they qualify for the 82 and 86 World Cups, Northern Ireland, under Billy Bingham, and came within an inch of reaching the semi-finals of the 82 World Cup. So it's not the first time they've actually appeared in a major competition. 1986 was the last time. It was 30 years before 2016 when they appeared in a major competition in Northern Ireland, but it was nice for them to get back to another European Championships. Anyway, here's Danny Rose now for England, 3-0 ahead. Here's Rashford, who won the penalty. All 3 England attackers have been involved in some form or other. Rashford not scoring but contributing to the award of a penalty which was rightfully given. Kane has scored twice, one of which was from the penalty spot, and Sterling's got the other one. And here's Trippier now with a decent looking cross, and again not a very good header away by the Bulgarian defender there, number 2 Popov. And here comes Henderson again. England really now looking to run riot here. 63 gone, England 3, Bulgaria 0. We will open man in the match, but Panini's vote for early will count. And here they go once again here with Rashford. There's a lovely ball in there, and it was almost Harry Kane on the end there. Hattrick comes in looking for that 3rd goal. Rashford has won the ball back, and now Trippier has it right almost on the edge of the D now. England have possession, and they've pinned the Bulgarians back, and it's just great passing movement. Good dummy there from Barkley. Then Rashford. Then Barkley again. Sterling now on the far side. Sterling cuts in, gets his shot off, and I think the flag had gone up on the near side for an offside, and it's a free kick to Bulgaria, who trail England here by 3-0. And England Bulgaria, sorry, about to make a change. Number 3, Dimitrov, is going to come on, and number 5, Bodorov, who gave away that ridiculous penalty. From his point of view, is the man being sacrificed. He's had a poor game for me. And Mason Mount is about to make his England debut, and the attendance a bit more than 75,000 as I predicted at the start. 82,605 is the official attendance at Wembley tonight. Again, thank you to Russ Vernon for that information. Our colleague, esteemed colleague, moderator and reporter and commentator. He has about 4 different roles with us here at the YouTube channel, and he does marvellously well in all of them. 3-0 England lead. We're coming up towards the 65th minute mark, and 82,000 have seen not a vintage England performance, but good enough at the moment. 3-0, but I have to say it's been far from easy for England. Far from easy. Belgium had taken at least 2 or 3 of their opportunities, then maybe, just maybe, it might have been a lot more of a different ball game, but it hasn't turned out that way. Bulgaria have won a throw-in on the left-hand side, and it was Nederinkov who gets possession, plays it back to number 15, Bozikov. Bozikov now to number 8, Sarnov. Sarnov now still inside his own half, finds Popov, the number 10, the captain, the man that tries to make the Bulgarians tick. Well cut out by Trippier's crossfield pass, but here's number 9, Farias, who missed that glorious opportunity at 1-0 just before that second English goal, which could have put a different complexion on things. England have been found wanting a little bit at the back, but they've got away with it. England are going to take a change, and number 8, Jordan Henderson's going to come off, and on to win his first ever cap, Mason Mount, a man who impressed during the playoff campaign. When we had that run of playoff commentaries, he was very impressive in Derby, getting within an ace of the final, and Jordan Henderson is not happy about being substituted. He's wanting to go off on the far side, and he's been told to go off on the near side. 2 votes for Raheem Sterling. The man of the match vote is now open, folks. We've gone past the 65th minute mark. Jordan Henderson is frustrated there. There is the new laws now where you can actually go off the field and be substituted, and you can go off the field on the near side as opposed to the far side here. And off comes number 7, Da Costa. He's gone off too, and Despotov, number 11, number 11 is now on as well. But it's man of the match, 2 votes for Raheem Sterling, and we're now past that 65th minute mark. Panini and Russ with the 2 votes so far. But Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, interestingly, has only got the 1 goal. Kane has got the other 2, and England 3-0 up, but they've not been convincing enough for me so far. The defence has been a little bit suspect. They might just get away with an easier night on Tuesday night when they play Kosovo in the second of the games. Here's Kieran Trippier. Timely return to form from England's point of view, with the Euros coming up. Had a tough old season at Tottenham last year, has gone to Atletico Madrid, and the move away has probably proved his worth, and he looks the Trippier of old, wanting to get the ball, wanting to run down the line, crossing at every opportunity. He's really has been superb, Trippier. I really have enjoyed the way that he's played, and of course Panini does make a point about Sterling's assist on the first goal. Yep, we haven't ignored that. Anyway, here come England now, looking to try and put a gloss on things now, as they look to try and finish this with a flourish. Shot comes in from the edge of the area, and it was number 18, Mason Mount, trying to mark his first cap with his first goal for his country, and he hits it over the bar. He's played in the upper levels for England. He's played at under 19, under 21, so he knows what this international lark is all about, and that is the way it's been at the moment. So it's been an interesting. I've enjoyed the commentary tonight. It's been great to be back on England duty. First time in sort of 15 months that we've covered an England match live here on the JB Claret channel. First time since that third place playoff match where Chris Whiteman commentated on that one, and I hope Chris Chris, if you're listening tonight, I hope you're okay, mate. I hope to have you back doing some commentaries later on in the season. Chris is obviously busy at the moment with one thing or another, but if he's listening, I hope he's well. 69 gone. Still, you can vote for your man in the match. Just to remind you of that JB man in the match. Name me your chosen player, please, and I've no doubt it'll be English. Name me your player, please, and hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. Anyway, here comes the number 14 Nedeljkov now for the Bulgarians. Played it in, and it's come off Maguire, and that'll be a throw-in to Bulgaria, in line with the 6-yard area of England to Bulgaria. Or was it? No, it's gone to England. It's gone to England, in fact. Must have come off the Bulgarian player last. And we're going to see Oxlade-Chamberlain now on for England. In just a second or two, as Keane belts that ball away, and then shoves an opponent out the way in the process. And we're going to allow for the substitution to take place, are we? Who's coming off? Well, Chamberlain, I would have thought. I brought one of the England front three, maybe Rashford, possibly Sterling. 20 minutes still to play, and it's another throw in now for Bulgaria. Mason Mount in there with a challenge, still in line with the 6-yard box of England. As the throw is taken, there was hands there possibly against number 4 there, Declan Rice. Just having a little bit of a ragged second half here, Declan. And number 7, Raheem Sterling, is going to go off. Just the 1 goal and the 1 assist, but has played a huge part tonight. And in fact, it's Jadon Sancho rather than Oxlade-Chamberlain. I should apologise. Jadon Sancho is going to come on. The man who's in red hot form in Germany for Borussia Dortmund is the man that's going to come on there. And because my notes are a bit lopsided because we're in a different commentary position, I couldn't tell who was who then. Chamberlain actually wears 19, Sancho wears 21, so it's Sancho rather than Chamberlain. In the Ashes, Russia's keeping us up to date with that. There's 286 for 6 declared, and England now need to find from somewhere. And we're playing for Ben Stokes here. Ben, just hit his winning runs. 383 to win, but I think a draw might be our best chance of a result there in the Ashes. Otherwise, it will be 2-1 Australia, and they will retain the Ashes. They won down under 4-0 as Kane goes inside the area. Another penalty to England. Kane cutting in from the right hand side, and he was jacked from behind as he tried to shoot and complete his hat-trick. He'll have a chance now from the penalty spot to complete the hat-trick, and England have a penalty. Dimitrov, the substitute, who was the culprit, he cuts in from the right. It's a good purposeful run, gets away from his man originally, and then Dimitrov gets back at him, and there's no doubt about that, he hacks him from behind. So Kane has a chance now to put the seal on it with 72 minutes almost gone. Can he make it pay with a 4 for England? Piliev waits on the line. So England, it's Kane against Piliev, round number 2. Right footed, will he go to the right hand side or to the left? He goes the opposite way, and it goes into the back of the net, and it's 4-0. I think Piliev might have got hands on it, dived the right way, dived to the goalkeeper, dived right from his viewpoint. The ball went the same way, but it was too much in the corner. I thought the net didn't ripple for a second. In fact, it hit the camera behind the goal, so it definitely hit the net, and it hit the camera, so it was a perfectly good goal, good penalty. And there's the penalty again. No doubt he was took out from behind, and the Italian referee, who's actually been he's done a fantastic job tonight, has kept the penalty, and now he goes level with Sterling with 5 goals in 3 European qualifying games as well, Harry Kane. So Sterling is now thwarted at the top of the England goal scoring stakes as regards qualification games. England moved to 4 now after a very sticky first 55 minutes or so, but they're now in pole position. They're well and truly now, if it was Formula 1, they'd be about a minute ahead of everyone else in terms of seconds, because they're now 4-0 up, and they'd be probably where Australia now are declaring up at Old Trafford if it was a cricket game. If it was a boxing match, it'd be stopped, but it's not been vintage England tonight. They have been sluggish at the back. They have been they have been fortunate. And Jordan Pickford, that save at 1-0 was crucial as the ball goes back to him, and he was under a lot of pressure there for the number 11, Despositov. And England have, I think England have been penalised right on the edge of the penalty area. Maguire, the man I think who's in bother here. Yeah, Henderson, Pickford just selling Maguire down the river. And in fact, that doesn't look a free kick to me. I think even Offers made a bit of a meal out of that. I think the referee has probably made the first bad decision of the evening. I don't think it's going to. Will it cost England a clean sheet here? Now then, free kick time for Bulgaria. They're 4-0 down now, so anything they get from now till the end, you would feel that it's a consolation with just over a quarter of an hour or so to go. Popov may well fancy this now. He's the captain, number 10. He's over the free kick. Now what do they do from here? It's going to be Popov. 4 or 5 in England more. Ivanov fancied it as well, but the captain has had the final say. He's going to strike it surely right-footed, and it's just about 23 yards to the right of the D as he takes the free kick, and what a save by Jordan Pickford. He got across there to his left and tipped the ball over the bar. It was going inside the right-hand post, and Pickford, having to scamper across his goal to his left, gets a big right hand and gets a big left hand and flips it over the bar for it's a Bulgarian corner. A great free kick there from Popov. Struck it well with the right foot in towards the other Popov, the number 2. And then Bulgaria look for a penalty. It's a free kick for a simulation. It's not a penalty. The number 11 there, Desposov, went down, threw himself to the floor. Definitely not a penalty. Barkley was involved. There's a slightest contact, but he delays it before coming down. He keeps his feet initially after Barkley pushes him, and then a delayed reaction, and then goes down as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. It was ridiculous, and I think the referee was quite right as Harry Kane gives the captain's armband to Jordan Henderson. He goes off. He's got a hat-trick. He'll keep the match ball as well. He won't get our man of the match award, unfortunately, but he'll certainly keep the match ball as he hugs the man who's going to come on. Oxlade-Chamberlain this time. He's on now. Jadon Sancho is also on it. So England have made their full complement of 3 substitutions as we now go into the final quarter of an hour. England 4, Bulgaria 0 in the European qualifiers, but England have had 1 or 2 scares tonight. Bulgaria have had 3 presentable chances, and if they'd have taken them, who knows what might have been from a Bulgarian point of view. But from an English point of view, they're on song, on course, and it looks as if they're going to get the points. And unless they have the most horrendous of the most idiotic of accidents and concede 4 in the final 13 minutes plus stoppage time. Now that would be strange, but let's not make any bounce about it. Bulgaria have had their chances, so 4-0 on paper might sound very convincing, but for the first 55 minutes tonight, you wouldn't have thought that way when Pickford made that save at 1-0. That was the game changer for me, and then they got the penalty about 60 seconds later, and the rest, they say, is history now. Kane has since completed his hat-trick and gone off. Sterling has scored one and made one and gone off, and England now lead 4-0. And here's an opportunity now for Sancho to cut in now down the near side. Goes to the far side. Rosie's there. Mount plays the 1-2. Sancho has it about 25 yards from goal. Tries to chip the ball into the penalty area, but once again it comes away once more. England now just having good possession here, and here is Trippier. Good football again. Chamberlain now 25 yards from goal. Robert Barkley, I should say. Mount now trying to get it onto his right foot, gets the shot off, and it deflects away. England win possession, doing really well. Now then, can they force something there? Sancho trying to get in behind again, but it was a good tackle there by one of the Bulgarian defenders, and it's a goal kick. And Mount has tried to make things happen. He's a very good player. As I said, I was impressed with him at Derby last season. I've seen a lot of games, commentated on a couple of them, including the playoff final, and he looked a real talent. And and he's come into the side at Chelsea. I thought he didn't have a bad Chelsea match this season when they were beaten 4-0 by Manchester United on that opening day, but from what I saw of him at Old Trafford that day, I thought he was excellent. Could have had a couple of goals himself in the first half at Old Trafford, but wasn't meant to be, and people had got on his back a bit, but Southgate has seen something in him that has convinced him to put him in the squad, and I think he's a good player. He knows what this international lark's all about. He's played at, as I say, at the youth level, under 19s, under 21s, so he knows what it's all about. Mason Mount, and a very good prospect, I have to say, for Chelsea right now. Still no Callum Hudson-Odoi through injury. He picked up the injury last season against Burnley, so for him to come back, Southgate's going to be spot for choice, but he has to pick players who are in form. It's not good picking like people like Lingard and then not picking someone in form. For example, and this is no sour grapes, like Ashley Barnes, who scored 4 goals in his first 4 matches for Burnley this season. You know, that remains to be seen. But Southgate at the moment on course for a victory, but he knows it's been far from convincing. Certainly if the first 55 minutes were to go by. But if he joined us late, Kane a hat-trick, Sterling with another one, and England now on the march with 10 minutes to go. After a very sluggish first 55 minutes, it's going to be said where Bulgaria had 3, maybe 4 presentable opportunities. Now we're going to see Mladenov to come on. He's going to come on the remaining 9.5 minutes plus stoppage time that remains here at Wembley. Mike, I'm just following a bit on Facebook. He's doing his own running commentary as Pickford gets the ball now. So 4-0, and England in complete control of the situations at this specific moment. It's just at this moment in time. So 4-0, as I say. So a great performance, absolutely. As Rose plays the ball across, and now Maguire to Kieran Trippier. Has had a marvellous game. Gone a bit under the radar because of the performances of Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling, but he's had a terrific game just to come to him. Still, Raheem Sterling leading our supplementary man in the match vote, and you can change that if anyone fancies voting for Harry Kane. Not to try and fiddle the votes, but if you fancy Harry Kane being our man of the match, just tag his name or any other England player, or you might want to go for a Bulgarian, who knows. But tag the name of the player you want to see win the man of the match award and hashtag it with JBMLTM plays. You've got until the 90th minute to do that, as we see the number 19 Mladenov coming off. He's going to replace Ivanov, and that's the final Bulgarian substitution with 82 minutes of the game gone now, and England in complete control, but for 55 minutes they were far from in control. If Farias and Da Costa rather, they're taking their opportunities, it might have been a different match, but it hasn't, and it's 4-0. The international game, first one of the season here, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel, audio commentary, and England 4-0 up here in this European Championship qualifier. And Montenegro is the 1000th international. That's taking place on the Thursday the 14th of November. No, that's the European qualifier, in fact, and that's a European qualifier, in fact, that particular game. As England, well, certainly for the large part of the second half, have been, to quote their sponsors, head and shoulders above Bulgaria in certain aspects. Here's Rose on the left hand channel. Plenty of Bulgarians back behind the ball, probably all 11 men behind the ball at this stage as England try to pick a way through. Kane and Sterling have been substituted. Here's Rose down the left hand side, cuts inside well. Rose inside the penalty area, turns one way and another, and the shot was, or cross-come shot was blocked there by number 3 Dimitrov. Did really well there, Dimitrov. And then the ball ushered back to Jordan Pickford. 6.5 minutes, is it? Yeah, 6.5 minutes to go. England 4, Bulgaria 0. That's normal time, that is. We don't legislate for stoppage time. So just to remind you, the other two pieces of sporting items at the moment in the Ashes. England have lost 2 wickets already, unfortunately, 0 for 2. So they've scored no runs, but have lost 2 wickets and still need 383 to win. What a dreadful start for the England batsmen there, as they chase 383. It looks a distinct possibility now that Root and Burns have both gone. Here come England now. The football inside, they've had no such problems in the end after a sticky 55 minutes or so. Whistle's gone as an injury there to Sarnoff, and he's going to get some attention. So let me just talk you through that. So the scorecard at the moment: Burns was caught Travis Head off the bowling of Cummins for 0. Root was bowled for 0 by Cummins. Jason Roy and Joe Denley are out there, and then both not out, but have yet to score, and it's 0 for 2 at the moment. And Warner was out, LBW as well. He got a pair up at Old Trafford. And Flores is Quique Sanchez Flores is the new Watford manager. Well, he's rejoined. He was manager in 2000. He was sacked in 2016, and he lasted the season. So he's come back there. So there we go. So I mean, look at that. I mean, that is. I mean, they've had something like 18 managers since they initially sacked Sean Dyche almost 7 years ago, and it's unparamount. Anyway, Smirnoff is back on his feet, I'm pleased to report. He's just receiving treatment on the far side. If you want to watch highlights of the football later, they're on ITV at 10:45, and then we're back on Tuesday night at 7:30 with England against Kosovo again, here from Wembley. Full match commentary of that here on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and of course later that said, now if you want to tune over on ITV4, we've got there's a documentary they're showing of Gordon Banks, a profile of the late great England goalkeeper, one of the 66 World Cup winners, as they look back at his life and career. Won 2 major honours, the World Cup and the League Cup, and reached 2 FA Cup finals in 63 and 69 as well. So he had a great career, even with 2 unfashionable clubs like Leicester and Stoke, and did really well. Anyway, back to the present, and England have a corner taken by Jadon Sancho from the right hand side, and the Bulgarians get it away. 4 minutes left to play, just under now. It's England 4, Bulgaria 0 in the Euro qualifying game, and of course if they can get that other result now, Kosovo should be a shoo-in for a victory. England-Kosovo is actually at Southampton, I'm told, and not Wembley. Sorry about that. Just shows my lack of international football knowledge at the moment. It's at St Mary's. People forget it was at St Mary's. England back at Wembley, as it happens, in November for their 1000th international. I'm bringing that to you live on the JB Clark YouTube channel nearer the time. So we're at St Mary's. We're in Southampton on Tuesday and not Wembley, as I initially thought. Anyway, it's a chance for England to score number 5. Good effort and a great save as England built an attack. The goalkeeper's hurt himself inside the penalty area. It was Marcus Rashford who ran in, started his run on the left-hand side, played a 1-2 there with Barkley, and then hit a right-footed effort, or could hit a close-range effort from just inside the 6-yard box. And it was a good save from the keeper, and then he was caught there, the goalkeeper, as Rashford followed through. Purely accidental, and now the goalkeeper's hurt himself and he's receiving treatment. Smirnoff, who'd just been injured a few seconds before, has got him up on the field. On his feet again on the field, and we're back underway again. Or the Italian referee isn't happy about something or other, but never mind, we'll have that penalty taken again. I think he said level with the edge of the Bulgarian penalty area. So England Kosovo is actually at St Mary's, so we're going to be on the south coast on Tuesday and not Wembley as I initially thought. Thank you for correcting me, Mr. Vernon. Anyway, back to the game, and it's 4-0 to England, but it's not been a clear-cut 4-0. For 55 minutes it was levels you doubles really in certain respects, because they had chances, and they might have something here now, because Farias is on the left hand side. He cuts inside, still Farias gets his cross in, and it's a corner off Michael Keane, the former Burnley defender. Now plies his trade with Everton, and it's a corner kick to them. Now what can Farias do here with this corner? They're going to go with the right hand. He goes short, right footed, gets the ball back. Farias now looking to get a cross in there. Pickford will watch this all the way inside the 6-yard area, keeps his eye on the ball and takes the catch, no problem there. He's made some big saves tonight, Jordan Pickford. One from Farias at 1-0 when he could have made it 1-1. In fact, it was Da Costa, I think it was, in the 53rd minute, and then England scored again. And then a few moments ago, denying pop off the number 10 from the free kick, the captain of number 10 from the free kick. Well, inside the final minute, you've got a chance to vote for man of the match. If you've got about 45 seconds, but I think that maybe it may be a bit too much to stop Raheem Sterling getting our supplementary man of the match award. I'm sure ITV will give their man of the match to Harry Kane purely and simply for his hat-trick. But we're going to announce Raheem Sterling as the winner unless there's a major turn up in the voting system in the next 25 seconds or so. But it looks as if Raheem Sterling will be our man of the match award winner. Declan Rice has had a decent game as well. First ever cap for England, and though he did win 3 caps for the Senior Republic of Ireland team, although they were all in friendly games. And Russie's right, there is 2 minutes to be added on. And let's confirm our supplementary man of the match award. It's Raheem Sterling. He doesn't get anything, but he gets our man of the match appreciation, so he gets our man of the match vote. But I'm sure Harry Kane will get the television vote as well. Here's Farias now for Bulgaria. Ball hits off an England defender. Now Trippier to get it away. He's had a decent return to the England side. Showed some really good performances, I believe, in Spain for Atletico Madrid. I've heard the press there. I've heard good things about him. Certainly in Spain. We've had 30 seconds of the 2 minutes, and in fact 40 seconds of the 2 minutes. We're almost halfway through the stoppage time. So our man of the match, Robert, is Raheem Sterling. England 4, Bulgaria 0 then in this European Championship qualifier for the next year's European Championships, which I believe is going to be, believe it or not, held all over Europe. But the semi-finals and the final are being held right here at Wembley Stadium. As Sanchez tries to make something there, but the Borussia Dortmund man can't get through. So we're down in Southampton on Tuesday night. Join us at 7:30 from St Mary's and not Wembley. Thank you, Russ. If it wasn't for Russ, I would be nowhere. But England now on the cusp of victory. We'll get some post-match reaction from Gareth Southgate and friends later on. And so stick with us, because we're going to be on until about just after 7 o'clock. And we're now deep inside that final 2 minutes now. So we'll be going off the air around about just after 7 o'clock when we've heard from Gareth Southgate and others. But for 55 minutes tonight, you wouldn't have known. That's a yellow card against Danny Rose, an infringement there on halfway. So we're going to have the final set play here from Bulgaria, although it's way far there, although he got the ball, but it was a little bit on the dangerous side, maybe the Italian referee deciding that it was on a bit of a dangerous scale, although to be fair, 20 years ago that would have been a fantastic tackle. Shows how much the game has gone, really. But Panini's frustrated. It's twice now he's lost a bet and cursed it. He went for 5-0. It's going to stay at 4-0. There goes the final whistle. England in the end comfortable winners, but it was not a pleasure cruise, I can assure you of that. Gareth Southgate's side needed a save really in about the 55th minute mark from Jordan Pickford when Da Costa had broken into the penalty area, hit the shot straight at the goalkeeper, and he got a big right. He got two great hands on the ball to get it away. England then won a penalty. They were leading 1-0 at half time thanks to the 24th minute goal from Kane. And Kane took away 2 penalties. In between those 2 penalties, Raheem Sterling added a third from close range. It did look a smidgen offside, but having said all that, England in the end, after a bit of an alarm for 55 minutes tonight, have run out comfortable winners by 4-0. Both sets of teams now congratulating and commiserating and shaking hands and whatnot. But England now should take a firm grip on the group. but has been well, it has not been, it wasn't vintage by any means, but having said that though, England have got the job done, and now go to Southampton on Tuesday night knowing that if they can get another victory against Kosovo, and then hopefully another result here at Wembley against Montenegro, they should be shoo-ins for the next summer, and an opportunity maybe to win their first major football championship since the 1966 World Cup. They've had 2 semi-finals in the last 2 summers. Can they go a couple of steps further and maybe not just reach the final but actually win it? That will be the question here as the players now walk off down the tunnel. Hopefully as soon as we get interviews, we'll stay with you until about 10 past 7 this evening here at Wembley, and then I'm going to have something to eat and go home because I'm shattered. But it has not been easy, that is for certain tonight. But England made it very difficult for themselves after 55 minutes tonight. They were not, they weren't playing too well. They weren't at the races, but after that save, it gave England an opportunity to seize upon, and they took that terrifically. So they'll be quite pleased in the end, but it's been far from easy. So we're just waiting to get some interviews before we leave you tonight. Stay tuned. But you've heard an England display there that wasn't convincing, as I said, for 55 minutes, but the 35 minutes or so they were very, very dominant. So plenty for Gareth Southgate surely to ponder, really, in terms of the way that the team played, and showing how they've got to look at themselves and just think, right, what can they do? But they've played terrifically well. They looked really sharp. Certainly I thought Harry Kane was terrific. You know, he takes to international football like a duck, like a water off a duck's back. He's so superb, really. And I have to say Kane is a terrific thing. So both Sterling and Kane actually moved to 5 goals apiece in the qualifying stages. Played 3 qualifying games thus far. Their 4th one will be coming up, as I say, on Tuesday. And now Russ is now rightfully corrected me. Now it's he's at St Mary's and not Wembley, as I originally thought. That just shows how much I've been out of internet. I've spent the last sort of 12 to 15 months commentating on good football. I've totally lost focus on internationals, but they are at St Mary's and will be there on Tuesday night for another live commentary. 7:30 is our start time here on the JB Claret YouTube channel, and it's actually nice to be back. Stay with us, Russ, because we're going to hear hopefully from Gareth Southgate. We'll get his assessment of things, but thank you very much for your reviews, and thank you very much. I'm glad that you enjoyed our coverage tonight, Russ. He always does anyway, so that's one positive. We'll get some interviews. Hopefully we'll hear from Harry Kane as well before the evening is out as well. The hat-trick hero, probably the television man of the match. Our man of the match, incidentally, is Raheem Sterling. But it was a difficult night for 50 odd minutes tonight, that's for sure. England led at half time. Harry Kane, and then that save at 1-1, and then the foul there on Rashford, which led to the penalty. Well, the first penalty converted by Kane, and he put it in the right hand corner. And then another penalty then after Kane was hacked from behind and he went left. Keeper went the same way but was beaten for pace. He claims a hat trick, and he's got the match ball pouched in his sights as they get a good reception in the end from a very good capacity crowd. So the Group A, England top with 9 points, Kosovo in fact 8 points. So this is actually a very, very difficult game now for England. And Kosovo actually had a good result beating the Czech Republic, so they they aren't as clear cut as they thought. Anyway, let's have a word with Harry Kane. He's been speaking with Gabriel Clark.
Was it very positive? Was the performance?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially second half. I think first half, obviously, I think we decided to go ahead. We got caught on the counter attack a couple of times, just a bit sloppy with our pressing and losing the ball. But yeah, we said at half time, look, second half, come out, try and get an early goal, try and finish the game off, and that's what we've done. So yeah, a very good result at home, and hopefully we can take that into Tuesday.
8 penalties in a row for England. If there's a secret to your penalty taking, what is it?
Just hard work, just practice. Yeah, we do a lot during the week, and then the day before the game, me and a few of the other boys will do quite a bit. So
what's quite a bit? How many?
It depends. I always start with my feeding. If I feel I'm in a good place, it could be 10, it could be 50. It all depends on how I'm feeling on the day. But especially in a team like this, where we've got such explosive players and skillful players, we're going to get penalties throughout the campaign. So yeah, whoever's on the pitch got to be ready to take them.
It's 7 in 7 for England for Raheem Sterling now. Have you got a goal-scoring partner in the team?
Well, it's great for him. He's taken his club form into his international form for the last couple of years now. So yeah, he's an amazing player to play with. Obviously, he set me up for a nice, easy one to begin with, and then I managed to repay the favour towards the end. So yeah, we enjoy playing together, as I do all the players. So hopefully we can continue the form.
Now it's Kosovo, unbeaten in the group. But how much better in certain areas will you have to be, do you think, on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think we'll have to press better. I think if we give an opportunity to get us getting behind, it'll be difficult. So yeah, it'll be a different game, but we're full of confidence as well, and we're feeling good. So hopefully we can start the game well and try and get ahead and finish the game off like we did today.
Well, that's Harry Kane there, and he's got the match ball firmly pouched there. Meanwhile, Panini has said, "Great commentary, Sir JB." Well. Well, thank you very much indeed, Panini. I'm not quite up for the knighthood yet, my friend, but great appreciation nonetheless. But it was difficult for 55 minutes tonight, as Harry Kane was saying. They got caught on the counter a few times, which gave them some real troubles. But having said that, though, they were brilliant. That save at 1-0 really was the catalyst really for England to go on and win the game, because if that goes in, that's a different ball game, as the ball was fed in there, and in fact it was number 9, Farias, who had the chance. He hits it left-footed, and if he hits that past the goalkeeper, that's a completely different affection on it. And of course now I didn't realise how decent Kosovo actually are. They are in second place. They've beaten the Czech Republic. I didn't know that. So I should have been keeping my eyes on the ball, but so maybe it's not as given as we initially thought, that game against Kosovo on Tuesday night, which is going to be played at St Mary's. This is the first penalty claim which was given for England. A good run there. 76 metres he ran with the ball there, Rashford, before Boyanov brought him down, and he was definitely fouled. No doubt about that. Definite penalty. Kane, right foot, scores into the right corner, and that gave England a 3-goal buffer. That was the second of 3, because England led at half time, and it looked as if at this point that they were calming down, and then they certainly got the third one. It looked a bit offside, the third England goal, but Raheem Sterling grabbing the third. Hopefully we'll find out how that obviously came about. In just a second, but yeah, I think there was I think we really hit a snag really there in the Ashes. Let's just keep you up to date with the Ashes. We know about the England goals anyway. The other penalty incident there, but let's give you the latest score in the Ashes. It's 15. England have sort of recovered somewhat. It's now 15 for 2. There's been 6 overs bowled. England now still need quite a lot of still. They're 368 if they're to win that Test match. But at the moment, as things stand, 15 for 2. They've got 8 wickets to go, but I think the likely outcome could well be a draw, or if England were to bat out the day and just stay in the game. They've got one day to go after today, incidentally, but England of course needed 368 as things stand to win that third test match, and it looks a long way off, I'm afraid. Let me give you the scorecard at things stand. Burns caught head ball Cummings for naught, then Roots followed in the same over. This was in the first over. They're both out for naught. Root was bowled by Cummings for naught, having made a decent he scored 70 odd in the first innings, Root, and unfortunately it didn't work out for him. Denley is not out on 7 at the moment, and Jason Roy, who got to 21 before getting a pearl of a ball yesterday, is not out with him on 8 as well. So 6.2 overs have been bowled from the Australian bowlers, and it's 15 for 2. Earlier in the game, Australia won the toss, put themselves in the bat, scored 497 for 8, declared. England then responded with being all out for 301, and then Australia made their second declaration on 166 for 6, and of course now England needing 368 to win that fourth Ashes test. It's not looking good at the moment. Burns and Root both out. In other news, Charles Leclerc takes pole position for tomorrow's Italian Grand Prix. He'll be joined on the front row tomorrow by Lewis Hamilton. Valerie Bottas of Hamilton's Mercedes teammate will start on the second row in third position. So that's that. And Jamie Murray, Britain's Jamie Murray wins the US Open mixed doubles title with Bethany Mattek-Sands. They needed just 61 minutes to win that game, and they won it in 2 sets, 6-2, 6-3 over the top seeds Chan Young Jin and Michael Venus. So, and actually, Jamie Murray, brother of Andy, became the first man in the Open era to win 3 consecutive mixed doubles titles at Flushing Meadows, and that completes his 7th Grand Slam victory. We'll be hearing from Gareth Southgate in just a second. So that's done. And in the Rugby Union, Ireland beat Wales in their final World Cup warm-up game at Lansdowne Road, or the Aviva Stadium. Ireland 19, Wales 10, a try each for Kearney and Furlong and Ryan for Ireland, 3 tries. Sexton with 2 converted goals, and Wales scored 10. 1 try scored by Parks, and then Halfpenny with a conversion and a penalty. And Ireland will now travel to Japan as the world's #1 side. 2 wins over Wales, and Ireland will have a fabulous chance when they go out to Japan in late September. The World Cup starts in earnest, and we'll keep you up to date. We'll have updates on the World Cup during our football coverage next couple of days. And then in football, Quique Sanchez Flores has been reappointed. Javi Gracia, after just 1 point from 4 matches during the season, has been sensationally sacked, although not surprisingly considering the calibre of owner that the Pozzos are. They've sacked another manager and they've reappointed a former one, Quique Sanchez Flores, who was last in charge at Watford 3 years ago. He's back again. So Gracia was coached, and then Flores was confirmed some half an hour later as well. Watford at the moment stand at the bottom of the Premier League with 1 point from 4 games, as I say. Gracia led the club to Wembley last season before they lost 6-0 to Manchester City in the biggest cup final win for over a century, or the defeat for over a century, as well as 11th place. But 3 defeats in their opening 4 games, so in looms is job in an announcement made by the club. Hornets chairman Scott Duxbury said Javi has represented Watford with great dignity and will always be deserving of our fullest respect for his achievements he achieved at the club. Garcia and Sanchez, in fact, have Watford's best managerial records, with an average of 1.18 points per game each. So nothing to choose to separate them. Watford have become known for changing managers on their regular basis. Since Sean Dyche's exit in 2012, they've had 10 managers, including Flores twice. And Sanchez has coached Espanyol and Chinese side Shanghai Shenhua since leaving Watford in 2016. Right, we're all set, hopefully, for Gareth Southgate. The Rugby World Cup will start later this month in Japan. Can England achieve what they achieved back in 2003? They've got to emulate what the cricketers did in that never to be forgotten Cricket World Cup final. But we'll be getting score updates from the Rugby World Cup during our football commentaries whilst that's going on, and it runs for just over a month, from the 20th September to the 2nd of November over in Japan as well. Right, hopefully now we can hear from Gareth Southgate, the England manager. Hopefully we can hear from him very shortly. We're just waiting to get the words from downstairs, and as soon as we know, we'll bring that interview to you live in just a second or two. But there's the other bits of news. There, some great news there for you to bring up there, and yeah, Russ confirming what I've just said about 10 seconds ago. But yeah, terrific performance really from England tonight. Let's not, from the England footballers, let's not worry about the cricketers. They can wait another day, and that's still going on. Incidentally, let me bring you up to date in just a second with the latest score now from Old Trafford. It is now 18 for 2. They've had 7 overs and they've just closed at Old Trafford. They've just got stumps there at Old Trafford. It's finished for the day. 18 for 2 England have closed on, chasing 365 to win. And here's Gareth Southgate talking with Gabriel Clark.
I think it improved as the game went on. We didn't need to overcomplicate things really. Every time we used the width well and we got our wingers away 1 against 1, we looked dangerous, and at times a few too many touches, a little bit slow moving the ball, and credit them, their formation caused us a few issues out of possession as well. So we can get better, but of course a comprehensive win in the end.
It could have been a little bit different. They have a chance just after half time. 35, Jordan Pickford, good save. 35 seconds later England get that penalty.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where on a game like this you've got to make sure the concentration is 100% right. I always felt we'd have enough firepower to win it, but we can improve on what we did.
Is that attitude a bit of complacency?
I don't think it's attitude. I think certainly not complacency. I think they had, every team is going to have some moments, and you've just got to make sure that you see runs through. I think we let a runner go for that opportunity, but generally pleased, and especially some of our attacking play was very exciting.
Is Harry Kane the best penalty taker you've known?
But he has an incredible process, and we watch it do it every day. He took a lot yesterday, and we were very confident when we were sat on the bench, that's for sure.
He says around 10 to 15, maybe more, in a practice session.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant example for any youngster of mastering a technique, because you can see what he does, you can see the way he composes himself, and very, very difficult for goalkeepers to know where he's going to put them.
And has Harry Kane got a goal-scoring partner in Raheem Sterling now, 7 and 7 for England?
Yeah, well, he'll be disappointed he hasn't got the hat-trick, I think, because he just thrives on scoring goals. I thought he was electric. I thought he was really carried the threat right from the first whistle. A real danger all day.
So there we are. That's Gareth Southgate. Very honest assessment of tonight's performance, and really a terrific display. Right, well, that just brings us to the end of our commentary here. Thank you for joining us on the international game, coming to you live today this evening from Wembley. Just time to remind you of more international football coming up on this YouTube channel. On Tuesday night, we're from St Mary's rather than Wembley for this one. So we're down on the south coast. England against Kosovo, the group's top two, playing off against each other. Point between them now going into this game. Big game this actually now, but you still fancy England. We'll be live from 7:30 down in Southampton at St Mary's. Kick-off 7:45. But here at Wembley tonight, for 55 minutes, it was not vintage England at all. They were all over the place. Bulgaria had 3 chances. England was still slender lead, had a slender lead through Harry Kane's goal. And then 2 penalties, either side of a third England goal from Raheem Sterling. Harry Kane completing his hat-trick. England in the end running out 4-0 winners. It wasn't convincing, but it was good enough. England have beaten Bulgaria. England struggling in the cricket. They closed on 18 for 2, chasing 365 to win. So that could go. That's in the balance up at Old Trafford. And Jamie Murray has won the mixed doubles in the US Open. But England have won here by 4-0. The footballers haven't let us down tonight, and England have, after a shaky 55 minutes, have beaten Bulgaria 4-0. That's a bit for me. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. See you all on Tuesday down at St Mary's, hopefully, for more live commentary. And then hopefully next week we'll have another game live, this time from Carrow Road, we're hoping, between Norwich and Chelsea. But until then, until Tuesday, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. From me, JB, enjoy your Saturday and enjoy your weekend. From Wembley, good night.